love life sucked originally. Honestly, I had really. Okay, stop that right there. We're not going in that direction at all. This is the second season of Heartbreak and Tragedy, yes, but I'm not the kid that I was when I did season one. I've grown up, I've matured, I've gotten over the past. Episode one, you're gonna hear all about that. How great I am. This series right now is just spreading awesomeness and trying to help other people where I've been. I'm in a great place, as I said. Got my childhood friends back in my life. I got my loved ones in my videos. I'm doing great, but after what I've been through, I know others have been there. And I'm going to take what I've been through and what I learned from it, being checked into the Heartbreak Hotel, to try to help others get themselves checked out and move on with their life, to share their stories and try to give them closure, and even try to confront the person who broke their heart in the first place in some cases. Peeps, ultimately, the goal of this season of Heartbreak and Tragedy is to try to help my younger brother, Dr. Clone, aka Stuart, find love. So I was trying to figure out different ways to do that, and we have done the casting calls, but we have not find the right matches. No one has shown interest. So I figured with this episode, we're gonna take some inspiration for something old fashioned. We have online dating now, but the time before the internet, there was something called video dating, where someone would come out, record a video, and put their personality out there, talk about their interests, what they're like, and what they're looking for. And that would be put out there, and other people, other singles would do the same, and anyone who was mutually interested, the information was exchanged. I've done casting calls trying to find females to go on dates with my younger brother. Hopefully, being able to include this episode and showing his personality, who he is, and what he's looking for will help that. It may not come out in this, but I can tell you, I'm as cool and as awesome as you guys think I am. Dr. Clone has a much better personality and is way more of a social butterfly than I am. He doesn't even realize it himself. But hopefully, in this next half an hour or so, you guys will see what Dr. Clone brings to the table and why he will be a great match for anyone. Okay, so start things off. What is your name?
My name is Stuart Tyrone Samaru.
No, Mr. Samaru. How old are you?
I'm currently 38.
Okay. And how long have you been single?
Technically, as long as I could remember. At no point in time have I ever had a mate.
Okay, well, we'll touch deeper on that later. Let's start off with you telling the ladies about yourself.
Let's see. I was born in Canada. I've only ever graduated high school, so sadly no college degree. I did work in retail for a while until said company went under. I don't like to talk about the company. Bad memories there. And, let's see. Not exactly sure what else to say.
No, you know what? Let's go simple on what you would start off with the conversation. What kind of music do you like?
I kind of like a lot of genres.
Obviously, rock being one of them with your current T-shirt. What other genres are you a fan of?
K-pop, which is Korean, J-pop, which is Japanese, then a little bit of rap, and classical music. By classical, I mean things like the Nutcracker, or Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars, which most people don't realize both of those are actually classical musics.
Okay, great options. What is your favorite types of food?
Um, honestly, If I had to pick a genre of food, I would say it's more Western. So, essentially, say burgers, fries, shakes. I don't care for fancy places. Like, I'm open to try new foods, but generally, I'm this good with a regular old cheeseburger with bacon.
Okay. What would you say is the most exotic dish you have tried?
The most exotic?
Yeah.
Uh, huh. Hmm. The most exotic. Um, you know, I don't really eat a lot of exotic foods. The closest that comes to mind is huh. Actually, no, that's not really an exotic food because I was thinking shawarma. It's like a Turkish food, but I don't
Middle
know.
Eastern food. Yeah. Okay. Well, that does kind of count. That's not Western food by origin. Um, what is your favorite drink?
Drink?
Yeah.
Currently, right now, probably Perrier.
Perrier.
Yes.
Do you have an all alcoholic drink that you like?
Hmm. Surprisingly, no. Because I don't really drink often.
All right.
I'm more of a social drinker, so only for occasions and holidays. I don't particularly like getting drunk.
Are you a cigarette smoker?
No, I don't smoke cigarettes.
Okay, that's good. That's one of the biggest taboos in dating nowadays. Now, how's your physical health, and how do you maintain it?
As for physical health, to be honest, I used to go to the gym, but I don't go there enough. And I do have a few medical issues, like I'm diabetic, type 2, and I do have asthma. So it's probably best I let you know that from now. So that's why I'm drinking Perrier. I can't really drink pop, coffee, energy drinks, things like that. Like if I do, I can only do it once, like a month or something.
Okay, for this next question, be as blunt. Doesn't it get a blunt yes or no? You don't have to give too much detail. But are you in a financial stable situation? Are
Um,
your finances? Do you? I'll break it down. Do you have savings?
yes, I do have savings.
Do you have investments?
Yes, I do have
Have you
investments.
ever had debts in your life?
Technically, no.
So you're financially more stable than probably 90% of the people in the world right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
We don't need to go into details. Don't elaborate.
okay.
Um, what would you say is your favorite movie?
If I'm being honest, I don't have a favorite movie. I would say I have a favorite genre.
What would that be?
That would be anime.
Okay. So now we've given them a little bit about you. Now let's find out what you're looking for. So just as best as you can describe, what are you looking for in a potential relationship?
I guess I would say, if possible, long term. Because I'm not getting any younger, so I don't want to fling or something. I need someone who's both willing to commit and who's not going to play games. I'm serious about this, yes.
And what would you say as the personal characteristics that you'd be looking for in someone?
Huh. Personal characteristics? If I had to say, someone who has an open mind to try new things
Okay.
and will accept my loves and passions and hobbies. Because I can't be with someone that will give me ultimatums.
So someone potentially who shares your love for anime and video games and whatnot,
Pretty much,
or who's just going to be open to letting you be you.
yes.
Now, are you okay with a female having male friends?
Honestly, I had to really say, no.
So you're okay with them having male friends?
Oh no, let me rephrase that.
You're not okay with your.
I'm not okay with them having friends. I keep forgetting how you have to be more clear.
So you'd
on that.
rather the person you're involved with only have female friends?
Yes.
How about as far as work acquaintances
See, work acquaintances is one thing because you work with the person.
and work friends? So you're not
Yeah.
really. And what if they have a childhood male best friend?
You see, a childhood male friend is a completely different matter. That's fine because you knew them since, I guess, either high school or elementary. You can't really stop that.
Okay. Okay.
So you see, that's fine and acceptable. Because hopefully by that point, there's no lingering
Tension.
feelings or something.
Okay. No, that's very true.
Because that is my issue of a woman having a male friend. Because as a male myself, the first thought in my mind if I'm talking to a female is how much longer until I could romance her.
And talking about romance, how would you romance a female?
Problem is, since I've had no experience on this topic, I'm not sure how to go about it.
Okay. So would you be willing to take my guidance as you go on these dates with females? What I advise you to do, being that I'm a well-known romantic?
I take your words with a grain of salt, but sure.
All right. So what would be your ideal first date? Just off of your own thinking.
Let's see. I guess going to the park, playing Pokemon Go. Probably going to the mall. See if anything catches our interest. Like a new outfit, shoes or something. Probably grab something to eat. Then, hopefully there's something interesting to watch in the movies, theaters.
That's a long, full day. So start off with essentially some nature walks, some hiking, do a little shopping, have a bite to eat, and end with a show.
Yeah.
What
Although
would be
I
your-
will point out, I don't really care to go to clubs. So please don't ask me to go to clubs, like especially downtown.
Now, if you're in a relationship with someone who clubs, I guess it could be equally put that maybe while you do your gaming, they do their clubbing. But if there was a special event, say they wanted to celebrate their birthday in a club, would you be open to going with them to celebrate it?
Like, I'll go, but
You're going because you care for them.
pretty much.
You're not going to enjoy yourself, but you would care about someone that you're in a relationship enough that you would endure doing stuff that you per se aren't a fan of.
Yes.
Okay, no, that's a lot of women would appreciate that. Now, would you be open to trying like more exotic foods or things you haven't tried before just because of who you're with?
Like most things, it all depends on what it is.
So
I do have an open mind. However, I will say this. No fish products. I'm not into seafood at all.
Okay, so you have your hard nose, but overall you are open-minded.
Yes. Oh, and no insects.
Okay, I doubt that there's good. Maybe there would be, but I doubt there will be a lot of women that will be on these dates on this show that would be asking you to try insects. Now, is there anything about you that you want someone that you potentially would be going on a date to know?
Well, you should probably know I almost really never leave my house at all. And I never was very good at socializing. And there is a good chance you may have to explain things to me when I see them for the first time. I was very sheltered at a very young age.
Now, one thing I will point out, and I'm going to cut you off there. I'll correct you. You are amazing at socializing. You are someone who I have seen be able to have a conversation with just about anyone that I've brought into this house and anyone that we've encountered outside of the house. I think what you're trying to say is you're not the outgoing type. You're not just going to go up and randomly talk to people. But if people talk to you or you're in a social situation where you have to, you do have great social skills and you are great at having a conversation and you do have a lot of personality that you have carried yourself at parties and events quite well. So I think you're selling yourself short.
Oh, I guess if you say it like that, yeah.
What would you say is your best quality and what would you say is your worst quality?
My best quality is I can keep any secrets. My worst quality, if I happen to hear a word that's not necessarily an English word, chances are I won't remember it at all.
Okay.
That unfortunately also implies names.
Now, let me ask you. This is a very key thing in the dating world. What would you say are your, let's narrow it down to 5, top deal breakers? Top 5 things you would not put up in a relationship.
Oh. Let's see. I guess this one is like 2. You can't smoke cigarettes or do hard drugs.
Okay.
That's a hard no.
All right.
Obviously, no criminal history.
Okay.
I do not want to talk about political or religious views.
Okay. And what would be the final one?
The final one. If you cannot get along with my mother, then we cannot work. Because my mother is one of the most important people in the world to me. Because she's one of the few people that both loves and cares about me. And who has never lied to me once.
Well, guys, that's one feature and that's one characteristic that I'm sure a lot of women can appreciate. One thing that has been said throughout time: if you don't love your mother and you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else. And 2 things are very apparent. Dr. Clone loves our mother, and Dr. Clone obviously loves himself if you've seen the way he has carried himself on camera the last decade. Now, close things off, any last notes that you would want to say to any potential women that are going to be applying to go on dates with you?
Oh, sure. For example, as we said earlier, if you want to celebrate a birthday party at a club, that's fine. I can do that once for you, once a year. But after that, the likelihood of me going back to a club, especially if it's downtown, which the majority of them are, don't expect me to go. Because you see, there are just some things that are going to be a hard no for me. This also includes movies and stuff.
You don't go to the movies?
No, I'm saying movie genres.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you, do you have an issue with them clubbing?
No, so long as they're clubbing responsibly and they're not doing things like...
That would embarrass you.
Pretty much. Or picking up random guys or something.
They're not doing anything that's going to disrespect you or your relationship.
Yes. So long as they're not doing that.
You don't have to go into details. They know what I mean when I say what I said.
Yes.
And you mentioned certain movie genres you aren't a fan of.
Yes.
Would you be able to watch those genres because it's someone you're with? Or is it one of those things, I'll play my video games while you watch that?
No, I'm probably going to play video games because if you ask me to watch it, I'm going to fall asleep. I should probably also mention that I'm not into sports, like at all. I find all sports equally boring. And hey, I've never been a car guy. Cars particularly don't interest me at all.
Okay.
Gotta let them know these things in advance.
And if there's any sport that you would consider entertaining enough just to watch and get through it, what would it be?
Probably none.
None?
Not at all.
What about wrestling?
Well, wrestling's not a sport. That's entertainment. That's different.
So you could enjoy wrestling?
Sure. That's WWE wrestling, not UFC. Because, believe it or not,
two completely different things. MMA, professional wrestling.
you would think that people would know that, but surprisingly, most people can't tell the difference.
So, what are your greatest passions? What do you love the most? I've kind of referenced them, but you haven't said them directly yet.
Well, my greatest passions, since I was a young lad, has always been my love of video games and Japanese animation. I have to let you know I mean Japanese animation, otherwise people will think I'm just talking about regular cartoons. Like behind me, as you can clearly see, Attack on Titans and Pokemon.
So, anime.
Pretty much.
The only reason he brings up that because there was one girl that he told he liked anime, and then they ended up going to the movies to watch. What was it?
Minions too. Yeah. I noticed for some reason most women.
No. It was just some women, not most women. You can't speak on that anyway. Continue.
Yes, for some reason they think when I say that I'm talking about a Disney movie.
But you obviously is Japanese animation, Japanese anime, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
that also means my other passion is going to conventions.
Which you've recently rediscovered, correct?
Yes.
So you definitely want someone who would be open to going to conventions with you.
Yes. Except for I don't go to dress up. I'm just there to buy merch and take pictures of cosplayers.
Well, if you have a relationship, she's probably gonna want you both to dress up as a couple of costumes. Would you be open to that?
Well, sure.
And now, that being said, if you have someone who likes to club, are you going to be going to the Comic-Con club parties with her? You're making her come to the convention, or are you at least going to do the club part with her at the end?
Like most things, I'll base it on how I'm feeling that day.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Stuart, for dating. What are you hoping to come out of these dates that you will be going on in this series?
I tend to keep things very minimal and realistic. This hopefully they can get along and actually talk to me.
All right. What would be the best scenario for you coming out of this series? Best case scenario.
Huh. That she is actually not embarrassed to be seen with me in public.
So you're actually hoping to get a relationship out of this?
Sure.
Or maybe would you be happy if you got some friends out of it?
Well, I'm not looking for friendship.
Okay, so you just want a relationship.
Yeah. Because you see,
that's one
if
thing
you don't want to be in a romantic relationship, please do not waste my time. This is not something me looking for friends. If I wanted friends, I'd be going to conventions and stuff.
All right, Stuart. Well, we've talked for 20 minutes. Thank you for your time. I feel the ladies have a good idea of who you are, what you bring to the table, and what you're looking for. Good luck, my brother. I'm hoping this series ends with you finally finishing your story and having a happy relationship.
We'll see.